All right, so today we're going to talk about the two fundamental ways you and I, talk to our computers. You've got the world of icons and clicks that we all know, and then there's that mysterious world of just typed commands. We're not just going to scratch the surface of what they are. No, we're going deeper. We're going to look at the whole philosophy behind them and why that difference, believe it or not, matters more today than ever before. So let's just get right into it. You know the scene, right? Every movie hacker ever. They're always furiously typing on some black screen with that glowing green text scrolling by. Is that just, Hollywood drama? Or is there something genuinely powerful, something real about that text-only interface that makes it the go-to for people who need to move at the speed of thought? To really understand that, we need to see them for what they are. Two completely different doors into our digital world, the GUI and the CLI. Okay, first up, the GUI, the graphical user interface. This is pretty much the world we all live in every single day. It's built on this simple, honestly brilliant idea. What you see is what you get. You see an icon of a trash can, you know exactly what it does. It's super intuitive, easy to learn. But there's a downside, right? It chews up more of your computer's resources, and you'd be surprised. It can be kind of slow for doing complex stuff over and over again. And then you've got the CLI, the command line interface. Yeah, the hacker's screen. Here, there are no icons, no buttons. You talk to the computer by typing out very precise commands. Now, the learning curve is steep for sure. You literally have to learn a new language. But the payoff? Oh, it's immense. We're talking incredible speed, the power to automate just about anything, and it uses almost none of your system's resources. So, what's the best way to really get this? Well, think of a GUI like a kitchen appliance. Maybe a toaster. It does one job, it does it perfectly, and anyone can walk up and use it. Simple. The CLI, on the other hand, that's like a chef's sharpest knife. Now, if you're a total beginner, it's clumsy, maybe even a little dangerous. But in the hands of an expert, it's this tool of incredible power and precision that can do almost anything you can imagine. And this brings us right to the professionals. The developers, the system admins, the real chefs of the digital world. How do they choose between these two very different tools? Well, the crucial thing to understand is that it's not a battle. It's not one versus the other. For a true professional, the philosophy is to use the command line as the core engine for their work and then bring in a graphical interface only when it provides a clear, undeniable advantage. And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? The GUI, it absolutely wins on usability. It's that what you see is what you get world. But look at the CLI. It just dominates when it comes to efficiency for those complex, repetitive jobs. And the control? It gives you this deep, granular control over everything. See, a GUI is always limited by the buttons the developer decided to give you. But a CLI? It's only limited by what you know. But even the most hardcore command line pros will jump over to a GUI for certain things. And why is that? Well, because sometimes information is just visual. I mean, trying to compare two giant code files, or picture a complex database in your head, or look at a performance graph. It's just way faster and clearer when you can actually see it. But this whole difference goes so much deeper than just efficiency. It's really about power, it's about freedom, and this fundamental gap between what you can do and what you're allowed to do. I love this analogy. A GUI is like a set meal at a restaurant. You get what's on the menu, and that is it. The CLI, though, that's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You have all these individual ingredients, the commands, and you can combine them in an infinite number of ways to create exactly the meal you want. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Let's say your job is to find all the error log files on a system that are bigger than 100 megs and have the word fatal inside them. And then you have to package them all up into a single compressed file. With a GUI, you're clicking and clicking, opening folders, searching, filtering by size, selecting. You're looking at a dozen or more clicks, easy. Now look at the CLI. It's that one single powerful line of text. That, right there, is the difference between doing manual labor and pure automation. And this really brings us to the heart of it, the ultimate distinction. A GUI is designed for users, people who are meant to consume what's been built for them. A CLI, that's designed for creators, people who need to directly control, manipulate, and build the system itself. But there's an even more subtle, more profound reason why the experts lean so heavily on the command line. It's about the hidden mental price you pay for all those clicks. Which really makes you ask a critical question. Is the interface you're using actually helping you think? Or is it just constantly distracting you, making you look around for stuff?
There's actually a name for this. It's called context switching. So imagine this. You're coding, right? Your brain is deep in logic mode. You're in the zone, that flow state. Every single time you take your hand off the keyboard to grab the mouse and hunt for some button, you are violently yanking your brain out of logic mode and forcing it into spatial navigation mode. And that switch, it is not free. It completely shatters your concentration. And the worst part? It can take several minutes to get back into that deep, productive state.
And on top of that, just think about information density. A beautiful, modern GUI screen, it's mostly empty space and graphics, right? The actual useful data on there might be less than 10% of the screen. A command line, however, is pure, dense information. Every single character means something, which makes it incredibly efficient for our brains to scan and spot patterns. So if the command line is so powerful, you might think it's just some relic for old school experts. But that's not true at all. In fact, we're living through a pretty surprising command line renaissance right now. And here's the big twist. The surprising truth. The most advanced, most user-friendly graphical interfaces out there, they're all secretly trying to act more like the command line. Just think about it for a second. Tools like the command palette in VS Code or Spotlight Search on a Mac, they're all built on this one simple premise. Clicking through menus with a mouse is slow. The absolute fastest way to get something done is to just type what you want to do and hit enter. That is the soul of the command line, just hiding behind a friendly little search bar. And this whole philosophy has led to the creation of what is probably the single most powerful and widely used command line interface on the entire planet. The Google search bar. I mean, think about it. It's a text box on a plain background. It's the ultimate command line. When you type an advanced query into Google, you're not just searching for something. You are executing a command with specific parameters. Cite filters by domain, putting something in quotes demands an exact phrase, after filters by date. You're using a very precise language to tell a massively powerful system exactly what to do. That is the very definition of a command line. And all of this brings us to one final, kind of provocative thought. You look at the journey from the classic terminal to the search bar we all use every day, and now to AI chat prompts where we're literally just using plain English to command an incredibly complex AI. Isn't this all just the same core idea, just evolving? Are we actually witnessing the ultimate return, the ultimate triumph of the command line? Where the most powerful way to interact with our technology is, and maybe always has been, just telling it what we want.